Hey guys, this is part 2 of our solving right triangles, and we left off in part 1 looking at these definitions. And you may be wondering what any of this slide or this picture has to do with triangles. Well, as long as we can form a right triangle, which in this case, if you look right here, we've got a right triangle, we can actually find a lot of different information. Because we know this is a right triangle, we could find the angle of elevation. We could find the height of the tower. We could find the horizontal distance. We could find the line of sight, so the distance from eye to eye. And we could do all of that with only a few pieces of information. Remember, we either need to know 2 of the sides or 1 of the acute angles and 1 of the sides in order to find that piece of information. And in this case, we would probably know the height of the tower and the horizontal distance from the person to the tower, which means we could find all of these different angles of elevation, line of sight. We could find the angle of depression. We could find all of this information just by using right triangles. So to finish up here, we're going to look at another practical problem using right triangles. And I've told you before that right triangles are used a lot in construction, they're used in land surveying, and we can use these ratios to help us find a lot of useful information. So take a look at this example. Jeffrey is building a shed. Determine the length of each side of the roof. So this is the shed, the top of the shed that Jeffrey is building. And you can see here, we know the distance from this side to this side is 12 feet. Now, if we cut that triangle in half, what we end up with is 2 right triangles. And because we've cut it in half, we know that the distance from here to here is 6 feet. We also know that the angle of elevation here, this particular angle is 37.3. So we know 1 acute angle and we know 1 side. Using that information, we could find the other angle up here. We could find our height of our roof from the bottom of the roof here to the pitch to the top. And we can also find the slanted side of our roof or the length of the side of the roof. We can do all of that using the trig ratios that we've been learning. So we're going to use cosine here, because cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. I know the adjacent side and I want to find the hypotenuse. In case you're ever thinking, well, how do I know what trig ratio I need to use? Think about what you know. In relationship to this angle, the angle that I know adjacent, the adjacent side. And in my trig ratios, let's write this out, SO, CA, and TOA, 2 of them use an adjacent side. Cosine and tangent both use an adjacent side. So I know I'm not going to use sine. So think about what you know, then think about what you want to know. What I want to know is the hypotenuse. Well, the only one that has both the adjacent side and the hypotenuse, the thing I know and the thing I want to know, is cosine. So that's why cosine was chosen here. And I know that the cosine of 37.3 degrees is adjacent over hypotenuse, or 6 over r. I now want to solve for r so that I know the length of that hypotenuse for the side of the shed. In order to get the r from out underneath the bottom of the fraction, I have to multiply both sides by r. So that gives me r cosine 37.3 degrees equals 6. Now remember that this is all one thing. This is one ratio. What's the operation that's taking place between r and cosine 37.3? Our implied operation is multiplication, and the way that we undo multiplication is division. So I'm going to divide both sides by cosine 37.3 degrees. Whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other, so divided by cosine 37.3 degrees. I could then plug that into my calculator. 6 divided by cosine of 37.3 degrees, and I find out that the length of my roof is approximately 7.54 feet when I round that to 2 decimal places. Now, there may be times that you face a problem like this where you're not given a picture. So the first thing that you'll have to do is draw a picture of what the problem is asking. That's step 1. You may want to write this in your steps. When solving a word problem, draw a picture of whatever the problem is describing. Step 2, determine what you know. I know that this side is 6 feet. I know the measure of this angle. And I know that this side is adjacent to my angle. So I'm going to need to use a trig ratio that uses the adjacent side, like cosine and tangent. Third thing, you need to determine what are you trying to find out. In this case, I'm trying to find the hypotenuse. So I needed to use a trig ratio that compares the adjacent side to the hypotenuse. And that's why cosine was selected. Finally, I'll set up my trig ratio. The cosine of my angle is adjacent over hypotenuse, and solve for the missing piece of information using my steps that I learned in algebra. So you may want to write each of those steps down to help you when solving a word problem that involves trigonometry. All right, guys, so today we have learned how to solve a right triangle as long as we know two sides, or as long as we know one acute angle and one side. We can solve for the whole rest of the right triangle. Now we're only talking about right triangles at this moment. We also had some new vocabulary, angle of depression, angle of elevation, and we looked at some real life problems where if we can form a right triangle, we can take what we know about right triangles to find the missing information that we don't know. If you guys have any questions, be sure to write those down. Make sure you have your math journal completely filled out, and I will see you in class.